Alrighty. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another MindShift Monday. I am Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. I'm an international MindShift coach, and I'm here to help you shift your thinking for your own future success. I'm here every Monday night, and I'm currently doing a series called You Already Know This. And in this series, I talk about overused cliches. So, overused phrases. If you don't know what a cliche is, it's a phrase that's just become meaningless because it's been overused. So there are lots of them that we're so tired of hearing. And so I'm for a 12-week series until mid-October. I am working on the series and I'm going over just 12 of them. There's like 100, but I'm just going over 12 of them. So today's topic is called Done is Better Than Perfect. Now, I don't know if you've heard this before. I think most of you have, at least in the business world. Done is better than perfect is something that is commonly said to move people along and motivate them. It is often misused, um, sometimes by the people who are saying it, sometimes by the recipient who's receiving it, hearing it, and implementing it. Misused in a way that is not helpful to you, actually harmful. So we're going to break that down as to done is better than perfect. It is actually a really true saying, but only if it's used properly. So let's talk about that. So let's talk about bridges. Done is better than perfect is what people say to get you to move. For example, I used this example last week. It is used very often in the podcast world is, well, I don't want to start my podcast, so I have this and I have that in order and this in order. Done is better than perfect because you can wait for perfection and never get it done. And at least if you get it done, you get it started. This is the correct usage of that phrase. And it is often properly used when it comes to podcasting. However, some people take that to mean that I got it done and I don't need to make any more efforts toward progress. And that's where we go wrong. So let's talk about bridges. If you're waiting to build a perfect bridge, you'll be stuck on the riverbank. You're going to never get to the other side if you don't build a bridge. You might need to build a wooden bridge. It might be crickety and crackety, but it'll work to get you across. That's fine. That's where you start. Do you keep going back and forth on that same bridge? No, it's going to fall apart. But if you wait for the perfect bridge, you may not get to the other side in time. Excuse me. Progress, momentum, and crossing today. So when you create the bridge, I'm using this as a metaphor or an analogy. When you create that bridge to get to the other side of wherever you're trying to go, a rickety wooden bridge is better than no bridge at all because you're not going to sprout wings and fly unless you have special powers. But for you humans, you're not going to sprout wings and fly. So you need that bridge to get across wherever you're going. The one thing that you don't do on the wooden bridge is you don't set up a tent and camp on it. Why did you set up the wooden bridge? To get to the other side of the riverbank, right? In my analogy. You don't set up camp on the wooden bridge. Why? First of all, the bridge is not meant for you to live on. And second of all, it's not set up for that. It's not set up for residential. It's set up for crossing. It's set up for usage, right? You want to build a better bridge. Well, that's going to take more time. You're going to need to make sure you get the right engineers on it, et cetera, et cetera. When you cross your bridge, when you cross your bridge, you're on your way to success. Meaning, if you start that project, if you start your podcast, if you start doing your lives like I did, if you start doing writing your book, if you start whatever it is, okay, it may not be perfect when you start, and that's okay. I mean, look at my lives. They're better now than they were when I started, but they were poor quality. I'm not sure that now is perfect either. I will get better as I can afford better equipment because I do know what I need, and I'll work on it. If you want to donate, I'll take it. But when you look at even my podcast, my blog, that's a great example. My first blogs were a lot shorter. They were very different than I write now. I'm the same person, but I've evolved. So sometimes you have to get started that you're done to get to where you're going. And here's the thing, your goal with done is better than perfect. Your goal is to get it done and work towards progress. What you should not do is say, well, it's done and leave it there. There's a woman online that I watch. She says something really powerful. Um, Her name is Boss Lady TV, Tanya Smith, I think is her last name. I love her, absolutely love her. You should all go watch her. Something that she said a couple weeks ago in one of her lives, though, she was talking about doing lives because she specializes in, and she was talking about how some people take that mentality. She didn't phrase it that way, but it's the same mentality of going, okay, I got it out there, it's good enough, but they never try to get better. All of us gotta have to start somewhere. There's earlier work, and you can look on my YouTube channel and find it. There's earlier work that I have on it. I actually have a whole playlist of old videos, and I do that on purpose because I want you to see where I started, how horrible some of them are in terms of quality. And I want you to see where I am now and compare it to where I am a year from now because it'll be better. It will absolutely be better. Um, it's okay to start imperfect, but don't stay there. Don't set up camp on a wooden bridge. Don't stay there. Progress is your goal, not perfection. You want to progressively get better, not perfection. Perfection isn't real. It's an unrealistic goal. It sets you up for disappointment and it sets you up for failure. Progress should be your goal. Am I better than I was 6 months ago? Am I better than I was a year ago? If the answer is yes to either one of those, it's progress. What rate you're better at? Well, that's um, going to vary per person. But progress is your goal, not perfection. Think about that. So, here's some real life examples. I just gave you a couple, but I'm going to give you a couple more. So, let's say you're launching a website and it just has basic info. Well, it's going to improve as you do features. And my website is a perfect example of that. The way my website looked 6 months ago is eons away, just light years away from what it looks like now. And I might still keep improving it because I'm always thinking of other ways to make it better. How can I streamline this? Is this more user friendly? If someone has low connectivity, is this going to work? I'm always having going through those things in my head. How can I make this function better? Is this too much? Is this too pretty? I'm always going through that because I care about my professional presentation online because it is people's first impression, whether they believe it or not. I'm constantly making progress. I've even added added features. I've added pages. I've added different functionality. I've added libraries to my website. Didn't start off that way because I put it out there. It was fine, but it wasn't great. I've been working on it to make it great. And just like anything that you do, done is better than perfect. That's where you start. It is not where you stay. That's the difference. Sometimes people use that as an excuse for laziness or, yeah, for lack of effort. Well, it's done, so it's better than perfect. That's fine. You got to keep in mind the context in which that is properly used matters. It's not, well, I did it and I don't need to try to make it any better. Yes, you do. If you want people to take you seriously, people are much people take you much more seriously if they see your growth than if they see you come out the out the door perfect, or if they see you stay the same and never grow. Growth is impressive. That's what people don't think about. So if you have a business, if you do a live, if you're coaching, whatever your thing is, You want to make sure that you're getting better. Even as a writer, any writer that I have ever spoken to and know of will tell you their first book is not like their most recent because they've gotten better. Nothing wrong with that. Just like I say with my blog, my first one, very different. I still think my first blog was good. People say it's good, but it's not the same as the one I wrote last month. It's just progress. So um, let's say this is a good example, a personal example, not from me, but for a lot of people, starting a fitness walk today. You don't wait for the perfect workout plan. You start walking. You can get a better a better workout plan. You can definitely plan that. But if you wait till the perfect workout plan before you start working out, guess what? You're gonna be fat and unhealthy and not working out. You got to start somewhere. So done is better than perfect often means start. It doesn't mean you're finished. So here's how you can apply some of this uh, to your life. Build a bridge with what you have now. And here's the key thing that people don't think about that. One of the reasons people don't start what they're supposed to start, and a podcast is once again a really good example, or live or TV show or radio show, is because you're waiting for a level of perfection that you don't need to get started and sometimes isn't real. So start with what you have. You don't have a mic. You don't even have a computer. You only have a phone. Start with your freaking phone. I don't even have a phone stand. I can't afford that because I got $5 left. All right. Hold your phone up against the book, up against the table, up against the plate. Something. Take a pot and pan and make. You can do something creative with it. You can go to the dollar store. I wish I had it to show you and get a what do you call it? A business card holder from the dollar store. Those will hold up your phones. Yep. I've been creative. I was on the radio before I started doing podcasting, and I'm glad I was. Um, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to be invited onto that radio show. And I used to record on my phone, and the sound when go back and I listen to them now, I'm like, oh my god, that's so terrible. The quality of what I was saying was dead on. It was good. However, the quality of the audio I thought was terrible because listening with my today ears. I used to record in a closet in my bedroom because it was the quietest spot in the house. That doesn't mean I stayed there. Eventually I was able to record on my computer. I figured it out. I figured out what program to get to record on my computer. And then eventually I got a mic. And then I started doing a podcast. Blah, 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 blah. You have to start somewhere. If I had waited for perfection, I would have never started on that radio show. That radio show really prepared me for my podcast. I didn't realize at the time that I was in training for one of the greatest things that I think that I'll ever do. Because this podcast is going places. Um, Once you build that bridge, going back to the bridge analogy, cross it. What that means is take action. So now like I said, learn your next step. You started, great. Don't stay there. Don't stay on the bridge. Progress. How can I make this better? Am I as professional as I want to be in this area? Am I as good or at the level that I want to be? If the answer is no, not a problem. Work towards it. You don't have to be perfect to get started, but you don't stay in your mediocrity and think it's okay. We will not take you seriously. Learn from what didn't go right when you started. Okay. Again, going back to my podcast, I was organized and well planned when I started my podcast. But there's so much more that I have weaved into it now that are much more organized and professional and planned than when I started. You know why? Because I kept upgrading, I kept making better and progress and progress and progress. And you could see the difference if you really pay attention. I started off pretty well, but again, There were things that I did then I wouldn't do now, including audio stuff. um, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna build better. Whatever you did to start, wonderful. Build better. How can I make this better? The worst thing you can do is to get comfortable. The worst thing you can do for your own progress is to get comfortable. Well, this is working, so, this is good enough. I'm not going to really try to enhance anything. Still try to enhance. Don't overwhelm yourself because that's easy to do. Trust me, I know. Don't overwhelm yourself. Try to do it all at once. Have a plan and, like, I need to do these 20 things. Okay, so do them one at a time. I can't afford to do all 20 right now. I don't have the time or the money. Okay, what can you do right now? So let's just do that one. That's good. All right, move on to the next. Um, so I want to leave you with this, and this is going to be a shorter message today, but because I really think you get the point. Done is better than perfect is a starting point, not where you settle. If you want to be your absolute best, and you want to be best at your business, at your writing, at whatever it is you're doing, your art, your art. If you're an artist, done is better than perfect is sometimes true for you when you start something. It is often not at all true for where you want to stay. As an artist, I want to see you give your absolute best. Are you giving your best as an artist, or are you just saying, well, it's on there. They don't really know what's inside my head, so this is good enough? You failed if you've done that. If you have a great gift in you and you just think, I did it, good enough, you are robbing the rest of us. You're robbing yourself from the progress and what's the word I'm looking for? You're robbing yourself from the benefits of your own gift, but you're also robbing us too of the greatness that's in you. I want you to always seek what's best. Give it your best. You know how you become the best? By giving your best, not by comparing yourself to anybody else, but doing your best. Are you trying to grow? Are you trying to proceed? Are you trying to be better? Are you trying to increase what you have? Because that's where the victory is. Not, I started, good enough. You'll be the most mediocre person that we will never remember. Now, I want to let you all know that I will be on a live. You're going to want to pay attention to my events page on my website, fatimabey.com. If you go to the menu, there's an events tab. All the events that I have coming up are there. There are some shows that I'm going to be on, and once I know the dates and more information, I will add them to there as well. But tonight I'm going to be on a live call-in show at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So the information and all how to call in and how to participate, all of those details are actually on the events page. If you're listening to this in the future, it will still be on the events page, and you'll still be able to go. I'll have a link where you can go and listen to it once it's after it's recorded. So try to come to the live tonight, and we're going to talk about purpose. The topic is your gifts will make room for you, and I'll let you kind of figure out what that is. Come listen in. It's going to be good. The show I'm going to be on is one that is very well established and kind of top of the line. So you want to listen to it. She's got a lot of good things to say. So I hope to see you all there tonight, and I will see you next week. You'll start seeing these videos on my YouTube soon. Have a good night.